Okay, today we will learn to manipulate the production function of the production function we have actually considered in our analysis in a different way, and we will explore the incorporation of human capital over here. Okay, so how to incorporate human capital in the production function? To do that, I will start with the standard production function without human capital first of all. So I have this physical capital stock capital K. Um, then I have labor augmented technological progress over here. And I assume that technology is growing again at the rate G.
Sir, excuse
Yeah,
me. Sir, we can't see your screen.
you can't see my screen.
No, sir.
Okay, let's see.
Sir, I was able to see it actually.
Now can you is it visible to everybody?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we will start with this production function equation number 25 we went without human capital. Our first job over here, this is a typo over here, is small a must be small g, rate of growth of technology. I'll change it. But your job is basically to derive this small yt, the per capita output, equals to at, the technological progress, multiplied by this term. S divided by n plus delta
Plus
plus
delta
g.
plus
It is g, huh? N plus delta plus g whole to the power alpha divided by 1 minus alpha. So this is basically what you need to derive your job. You start doing it. So you get the hint is over here. You start with this production function, then you multiply, you divide both sides of this production function by yt to the power alpha, and you do some algebraic manipulation. This is the capital output ratio. Capital K by capital Y is equals to small k by small y. So you divide numerator and the denominator of this capital K by capital Y by nt. You will get kt divided by nt divided by yt divided by nt. And you substitute the steady state value. Per capita capital stock, steady state value of per capita output. And if you do that, you show me that you get this relationship. Again, it's a typo. It is not A, it is G, the rate of growth of technological progress. Start doing it. So we are going to incorporate human capital over here, and we are going to check the importance of human capital in this model, in the simple solo model. Uh, so we'll start with this production function, then we will incorporate human capital. Please start doing it. So is it done? Done?
Yes, sir.
You got it? So everybody, I'm asking to everybody. So
Yes.
this particular equation, it's pretty easy. It's again same solo model. You are actually saving us some fraction ace of your entire income. So you solve the fundamental equation. Ace equals to k dot equals to ace multiplied by small kt to the power alpha negative n plus delta plus g multiplied by kt. That's fundamental equation. Solve it at the steady state. You get the per capita capital stock at the steady state. Substitute that in the production function. You will get the per capita output at the steady state, and you simply take the ratio of that. You will see, you will find capital to output ratio is s divided by n plus delta plus a whole to the power alpha by 1 minus alpha. So at the steady state, one important point to note over here, at the steady state, capital to output ratio in the solo model is always constant. Sometimes it is called the balanced growth path, because at the steady state, all the per capita variable is growing at the rate of technology. All the physical variables are going at the rate of technological progress plus rate of growth of population. So along the balanced growth path, all physical variable growing at the same rate, all per capita variable growing at the same rate. So this capital to output ratio at solo model along the balanced growth path is always constant, and which is in our case s divided by n plus delta plus g. It is independent of time, it is constant. So capital to output ratio along the balanced growth path, that means capital to output ratio solved at the steady state, is always a constant. Okay. So now from the production function, you get per capita output yt equals to at, which is the total factor productivity, at multiplied by s divided by n plus delta plus g whole to the power alpha by 1 minus alpha. This equation. Everybody got it? Sachi Jalote, have you got it?
Yes, sir.
Hopefully everybody got it. Okay. So from here, this equation that we have solved, small yt equals to capital AT multiplied by s divided by n plus delta plus g whole to the power alpha by 1 minus alpha. From this equation, can you tell me what is the growth rate of per capita output at the steady state, or the long run growth rate of per capita output? This equation, solving this equation. What is the rate of growth of per capita output in the long run or in the steady state? Small yt equals to capital AT multiplied by s divided by n plus delta plus g whole to the power alpha by 1 minus alpha. From this equation, can you tell me what is the rate of growth of per capita output along the balanced growth path, or at the steady state, or in the long run? How do you calculate that? Rate of growth is basically, for any variable xt, the rate of growth is basically x dot t divided by xt.
So we'll calculate y dot ty yt.
Y dot t by yt equals to, what is the rate of growth of technology? Sorry, what is the rate of growth of per capita output along the balanced growth path?
N plus G.
Same as the rate of growth of technology.
Very good. How do you do that?
So we'll take log on both sides.
So log of small yt equals to log of capital AT plus log of those factor alpha
And
divided
that
by 1
will
minus,
be
and that is a
0.
constant. When
Yes.
you differentiate both sides with respect to time, you will get y dot by y equals to capital A dot by A. Small y dot by y equals to capital A dot by A. It's the same thing that we have observed in by solving the entire Solo model. This is the same result we obtained. The rate of growth of per capita output is basically rate of growth of technology. And in the same way, since small y basically is capital Y divided by n, I can calculate rate of growth of physical output y is basically n plus a. So is if from here this expression small yt equals to capital AT multiplied by this constant, then small yt is capital YT divided by nt. So simple manipulation of this equation will give you capital YT equals to capital NT multiplied by capital AT multiplied by this constant. Small yt equals to capital YT multiplies this constant. As a result, capital YT should be equals to capital NT multiplied by AT multiplied this by this constant. Again, if you take logarithm both side and if you differentiate with respect to time, you will get y dot by y. That means capital Y dot by capital Y. Rate of growth of physical output equals to rate of growth of technology A dot by A plus rate of growth of population growth n dot by n along the balanced growth path or in the long run. This is exactly what we have obtained by solving the entire Solo model. So this is basically a shortcut of getting the answer that if somebody gives you the production function and somebody asks you that without solving the Solo model, you tell me what is the long run growth rate of this model. This is the way you should do it. The only thing you have to utilize that use the result that capital K divided by capital Y along the balanced growth path is constant. Okay, so let me see whether you guys have really understood it. Let me start with my standard. Let me give you one particular example. Uh, hmm. So let me give you one production function, which is not only labor augmenting, which is both labor augmenting and capital augmenting. So suppose your production function is this. Then capital KT to the power alpha and capital NT to the power 1 minus alpha. Without solving the Solo model, tell me what is the long run growth of this model? If the production function looks like this, what is the growth rate of, let's say, per capita output along the balanced growth path? You see, I have multiplied technology both with capital and labor. So it is both capital augmenting and labor augmenting technological progress. If the production function is this, what is the rate of growth of per capita output in the long run? You have to follow the same step what you have followed. So that means you have to divide both sides by yt to the power alpha. Then you have to do some simple algebraic manipulation, and you have to utilize that particular result that along the balanced growth path, capital KT divided by capital YT is always a constant. Please carry on.
So G by 1 minus alpha.
His answer was correct. G divided by 1 minus alpha. Same thing, you divide both sides by yt, do some algebraic manipulation, and use the result that along the balanced growth path or in the long run, capital to output ratio is a constant. If you do that, you'll get this.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Ah,
Sir,
this?
capital.
Oh.
Sir, Priyansha.
Bolo.
So capital to output ratio is constant, but how did we get S upon N plus delta plus G? Like, how is that constant equal to that? Are we
You
taking the
solve it.
values of KSS and YSS?
Absolutely, that is the long run. We are taking the ratio KSS divided by YSS. Actually, we are taking the ratio small KSS divided by small YSS, because capital K by Y is equals to small k by small y. Right? You missed it. Actually,
Yes.
I explained it before.
So then, wouldn't it be 1?
No, 1 क्यों हुआ? Small y equals to small k to the power alpha. If alpha equals to 1, y k by y will be 1.
Yes, sir.
Y will be 1.
Yes, sir, I got it.
अभी तो डिफिकल्ट पार्ट आएगा. First everybody said everybody got it, then I can proceed. Arnas Singh. Aryangs. How should I pronounce? Aryangs.
Yes, sir. Aryansh.
Aryans. Have you got it?
No, sir. I'm trying.
You are trying. Lakshya, Kavya,
Sir,
मिला हुआ है?
sir, I'm trying.
Still trying. वो पहला वाला हुआ है?
जैसे पहला तो हो गया
पहला वाला हो
जो
गया था. The labor augmenting technological progress वो वाला हो गया था.
means the last one, the one in the PDF.
Yeah.
Means जो आपने last वाला लिखा है वो वाला हो गया सर.
वो वाला हो गया. That is the labor augmenting technological progress, because the technology was multiplied by labor also only. Now it is both labor augmenting and capital augmenting technological progress. Same thing, absolutely identical. K by Y is constant. So you substitute that value over there, or you do not substitute that value over there, does not matter. So this is what you have to do. If you divide both sides by yt and if you manipulate, what you will get is this. It's pretty easy. Capital YT equals to capital AT to the power 1 over 1 minus alpha then in the bracket capital KT a capital YT to the power alpha by 1 minus alpha and NT remain NT. Sorry. This is the manipulation. You write it down in the per capita form, you get this. Instead of having NT here, you remove it over here, and from here you just it should be YT by NT. And that is basically my small YT. And that's it. Now this capital K by capital Y at the steady state or along the balanced growth path is constant. So if you take logarithm both sides and you differentiate with respect to time, what you will get is this. One over 1 minus alpha multiplied by A dot over A. And which is nothing but what he said. A dot over A is basically my G in the long run. So it is G divided by 1 minus alpha. So in the long run, the per capita output is growing at the rate this. Then what the rate of growth of this physical part, this is basically the thing. So this highlighted part, if you take logarithm both sides and if you differentiate with respect to time, you get the rate of growth of physical output is this. Rate of growth of population growth, small n plus g divided by 1 minus alpha. So this is the result. Your per capita output will grow in this particular model with technological progress, which is both labor augmenting and capital augmenting. Rate of growth of output, per capita output is this, and rate of growth of physical output is this. So as in the balanced growth path, everything per capita is basically growing at the same rate. So that means rate of growth of per capita capital stock, that means small k dot t divided small kt at the steady state will also be g divided by 1 minus alpha, and capital K dot t by capital KT along the balanced growth path will be same n plus g divided by 1 minus alpha. So it is basically without solving the solo model, if we are only concentrating on the long run growth rate, not the transition, what is the value of k by y, if I do not bother in this derivation, you see I really do not bother what is the value of k, capital K by capital Y. I only bother that what is the growth rate in the long run. So in that case, it's the easiest way to get the answer. If you know the production function, you always can manipulate production function in this way, and you utilize this result that along the balanced growth path, capital K by capital Y has to be constant. Okay. In that simple model where my technological progress is only labor augmenting, the production function was capital YT equals to capital KT to the power alpha, then ATNT whole to the power 1 minus alpha, labor augmenting production function. Solo model, we have solved that my capital K by capital Y at the steady state is basically S divided by N plus delta plus G. We know that. Now the part that you guys have to solve. Now, if my production function is this, both labor augmenting and capital augmenting, what is the value of K by Y at the steady state? How do you calculate that? Hint, you have to utilize this full-blown solo model now. You have to write down the fundamental equation, you have to solve it. And then only you have to get the value K divided by Y at the steady state. So this is your job now. Tell me if the production function looks like this, it is both labor augmenting and capital augmenting technological progress, then at the steady state, by solving the solo model at the steady state, what is the value of capital K by capital Y you will get? Remember, it's not easy. It's easy, but you have to remember your long run growth of per capita output is no longer G, it is G divided by 1 minus alpha. Very interesting result, and you have to keep in mind to write down the fundamental equation. The question, I think it is clear, when it is only labor augmenting technological progress, by solving the fundamental equation, we got that capital K by capital Y is basically H divided by N plus delta plus G. Now the question is, if it is both labor augmenting and capital augmenting technological progress, production function as written in highlighted portion, what is capital K by capital Y at the steady state? Yeah, Priyanksha, would you mind trying?
Sir, can you repeat the question? I didn't get it clearly.
Give me the value of capital K by capital Y when the production function is both labor augmenting and capital augmenting.
Okay, sir.
The tricky part, again, I'm telling everybody, the tricky part is basically writing down the fundamental equation in terms of effective labor force. So when it was only labor augmenting production function, we simply manipulate that production function by dividing both sides by AT and T. This is the tricky part over here, the hint. What should I do if I divide both sides of this equation? What is the factor I should use to divide both sides? Anybody would like to try? You see, in this case, if you divide both sides by AT and T, and you define, let's say, y hat T equals to capital YT divided by AT and T, at the steady state, y hat dot T divided by y hat is not 0, because at the steady state the per capita output is growing at the rate n plus g divided by 1 minus alpha and not n plus g. The Solow model with only labor augmenting technological progress, if I simply define my small y hat equals to capital YT divided by AT and T, at the steady state rate of growth of y hat is 0, because physical capital is growing at the rate n plus g and the per capita output is growing at the rate g. But over here we have seen that if I define y hat as capital YT divided by AT and T, rate of growth of y hat is not 0, because it is not n plus g, it is basically n plus g divided by 1 minus alpha. This is, you have to remember to identify the factor with which you have to divide both sides of this production function. Anybody would like to try? I cannot divide both sides by AT&T. I have to divide by something else. Divyang Sonkar, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Would you mind trying?
Sir, thinking.
Actually, anybody can try. Lakshya, if you want to try, you can try. Faisal, if you want to try, you can try. Anybody can try. The factor with which I will divide both sides now of the production function, so that at the steady state, I can set its growth 0. If I divide capital YT by AT&T, the rate of growth of that new variable is not 0 at the steady state with this production function.
Sir, will it be
Mhm.
n to the power 1 minus alpha?
बोलो बोलो फिर से बोलो.
Nt at to the power 1 minus alpha.
Very good, very good, very good. So take from here. This is basically the thing. Now how do I show you? What is the easiest way of showing it? Let's see. Mm, what is the easiest way of showing it? How do I show you? Manipulation. Just a second. Yeah. We got this. Then what I will do over here, I will divide both sides by this multiplied by NT. Do that, then let me do it in another step. Then this part will be small kt divided by, so this part will be how do I show you? Let's see. 80 to the power alpha, 80 to the power 1 minus alpha. So I can write this equation. If I put everything in the bracket, okay, I got it. So write down this part in this way. How should I manipulate? How should I write it down? Because from here it is clear, because I want to express this. You have write it down everything in that fashion. So actually, if I start from here, and then I divide both sides of this by that. Okay, I can remove this from here. I can call this now y hat t. This is I will define as y hat t. Okay. Now this part, divided by nt divided by nt. I just wanted to express in terms of this, actually in terms of per capita, so that you guys can see. Let me just take a pen and paper now. Otherwise, it is not possible. Let's see. Capital to output ratio. Should I? Okay. Now, if I write down the fundamental equation standard, savings equals to investment. Yeah. Capital KT dot equals to S of F of capital KT comma NT minus delta KT. Fine. Now you divide both sides by this factor NT 80 whole to the power 1 over 1 minus alpha. So if you do that, you will get in the left hand side NT into this factor. That is equals to this term into this factor. Negative delta into capital KT divided by this factor. Fine. Now, according to our case, I will keep the left hand side unchanged because I really have to manipulate that. This is my left hand side. Equals to S. This is my y hat t, the new definition of yt, right? So insert new equation. This is my y hat minus delta k hat t. Now, rest of the part again simple. I will simply take this definition, this equals to this. Now I will take logarithm both side and I will take derivative with respect to time. What I will get this term, and this term dot, of. It's very difficult to manipulate this equation editor. It's basically this term dot. Okay, how do I write? Can I write? No, I cannot write. Actually, it is k hat dot divided by k hat t. So I'm actually logarithm. Let me just do it later. Equals to, this term will be capital K dot T divided by capital KT. Then minus N minus G divided by 1 minus alpha. Then if you simply multiply both sides by k hat of this thing, you will get let me call it DDT, otherwise difficult. So let me call it DDT. So let me just write down this expression, and since I cannot write it in that fashion, so must be DDT of k hat t, which is basically my k hat t dot. Okay. Now if you just simply multiply both sides by small k hat dot t, plus this term, there's a plus term here, that multiplied by k hat dot t, k hat t is equals to this term. Now you substitute that over there, you get your fundamental equation. Is this equals to this minus the bracket, you will get in plus delta plus G divided by 1 minus alpha multiplied by K hat dot T. And now you will realize why I have manipulated in that fashion. At the steady state, this is 0. The new definition of K hat that I have taken over here, K hat is basically capital KT divided by NT, AT to the power 1 over 1 minus alpha. Rate of growth of this K hat is basically 0 at the steady state. Then you set this term equals to 0. You can actually get YT divided by KT from here, and you can substitute that over here. So at the steady state, the left hand side is 0. So this is equals to this at the steady state. And then this term capital KT by capital YT equals to S divided by N plus delta plus G divided by 1 minus alpha. So this is my small K hat. So this is also, so let me just write down over here. It is also my small K hat T divided by capital K hat T. So it is, you see again, it is ultimately constant. You substitute that value over there in this equation. So this capital K by capital Y is basically a constant, and that constant is S divided by N plus delta divided by G minus 1 over alpha. This is the interesting thing. So you, having seen the production function, you first have to realize, how do I define my variable in such a way so that I can set its value at the steady state 0, its derivative. So how should I define my variable? These are called state variables. This small k or small K hat, the way I have defined, is a state variable. How do I define my state variables in such a fashion so that its time derivative at the steady state I can set it to 0? You have to first check with the production function, you have to see the production function, and then you have to decide that in this fashion. First you decide what is the per capita growth, what is the physical growth, and then you will find out what should be the factor I should divide Y both sides. And accordingly your steady state value will change. Okay, so this is the, yeah.
Sir, so for every different production function, the definition of K dot T and K hat T will change.
Obviously K hat definition will change. The per capita small k I will not change. I will simply follow that small k equals to capital K by N. But capital K hat, I have to change the definition of capital K hat according to the production function. So actually this production function can be written as 80 kt to the power alpha and 80 nt whole to the power 1 minus alpha. So both capital and the labor has some part of technological progress sharing. If you do not want to define it at k hat, you can define as k tilde, does not matter. But the crux is basically you have to define the k hat or k tilde in such a way so that ddt of k hat or ddt of k tilde is 0 at the steady state. You have to define in that fashion. Actually, we are fortunate because in the growth model, either we work with this type of production function, both labor augmenting or capital augmenting, or we simply work with the only labor augmenting production function. So if it is a simple labor augmenting production function, you define your k hat as small k hat equals to capital K divided by an. If it is a both labor augmenting and capital augmenting production function, you define your k hat as capital K divided by nt multiplied by 80 to the power 1 over 1 minus alpha. This is the only thing, because we do not work with any other kind of production function generally. Okay, but the interesting part over here, if somebody tells you that I do not really want to understand what is the transition dynamics, I do not want to know that what is the value of capital K by capital to output ratio at the steady state. I only want to know that what is the rate of growth of this model in the long run. Just simply take the production function, manipulate in this fashion, and utilize the result that your capital K by capital Y is always a constant along the balanced growth path. You take difference, if you take logarithm both sides, differentiate, you get the rate of growth. So without solving the Solow model thoroughly, it is the easy way of getting the long run growth. Okay, any question? Any question? No.
Sir, at steady state, we have written k and y as a function of t.
Huh?
Sir, at steady state.
I'm
Hello,
not following your question. You are missing something. I'm not written at a steady state k as a function of t.
Sir, here when in the second last line we have written
Second last line.
y hat t and k hat t. Sir, it's the steady state condition. How can we write it as a function of t?
You want to remove this t? Remove it.
Yes.
No problem.
Yes.
Stupid question. Wait, no problem. Remove it. I have no problem. But that's not the purpose of doing all this. The purpose of doing this entire exercise is that how do you define your state variable? You have to define your state variable in such a way so that its time derivative you can set it to 0 at the steady state. And that absolutely depends on the structure of the production function you are working with. That's the purpose. Anyway, anything else? Lakshya, have you got it?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
Sir,
Now, who's this?
sir,
Bolo,
Priyanshu.
bolo.
Sir, so how do we decide what function do we take for k hat t?
For k hat t, what function you're going to take?
Yes, sir. We, like you said that for every production function, we can define a different k hat t so that
So that
the
its time derivative at the steady state can be set to 0.
yes, sir.
How do you determine that? That's your question.
Yes, sir. Sir, like how
Have you
we
have you really understood that why I have divided by why I have
yes, sir,
divided
to
both
make
sides?
the steady state growth
Yeah,
rate
how do I
0.
get this from here? I know the rate of growth of output at the steady state in this kind of production function is n plus g divided by 1 minus alpha. That means I have to define a variable from here, let's say. That means if I define a variable xt, let's say if I want to set a variable, let's say x dot, let's say x t dot equals to, suppose I am defining it as this. This minus minus. So I know since this particular variable y dot capital Y dot by capital Y is growing at the rate n plus g divided by 1 minus alpha at the steady state, that means rate of growth of, so call it a rate of growth, okay? Instead of doing this, define this as a rate of growth. Very difficult to write, so remove it. Let me set a new equation here. Insert equation, insert equation. This is your xt, and again you have your xt, and call it dot. So I know if capital Y dot by capital Y at the steady state is n plus g divided by 1 minus alpha, that means at the steady state x dot t divided by xt is 0. Priyansha? If at the steady state your capital Y is growing at the rate n plus g divided by 1 minus alpha, that means at the steady state this right hand side is 0. I am asking you, Priyansha. Are you with me? Would you mind unmuting yourself? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Your job is to find out that xt, so that x dot t divided by xt is y dot t divided by yt minus n minus g divided by 1 minus alpha. Then your choice of xt is unique, and that is xt equals to this capital YT divided by AT whole to the power 1 over 1 minus alpha
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I understood.
NT, right?
Yes, sir.
You understood.
Sir, sir, I didn't notice that my mic was on mute, so that's
No
why I
problem.
replied late.
And that means I can also write it down by defining small yt is capital YT by NT, I can write it down as, again I have to set a new equation, insert equation new, उसके ऊपर भी होगा नीचे भी होगा, in the numerator it will have YT and in the denominator is this. That's the trick. So if I define any variable, and this is exactly how I define my y hat. That's my y hat. If you can call it y tilde, does not matter. Call it y tilde, no problem. If you guys are getting confused, call it y tilde. What is tilde? Fine. Then instead of defining k hat, call it k tilde. Now you see at the steady state, the rate of growth of this variable y tilde is 0. I can set it to 0. Then I have to manipulate everything in that fashion. Fine. So this is basically the part, bit tricky, but very interesting actually. It has interesting applications. Anyway, so let me now go to our standard solo again. Where is my solo? Yeah, there's my solo. So this part is clear. I'm not going to actually, in this particular paper, is a very interesting paper, a very famous paper, Mankiw, Romer and Well, 1992. Is basically, he has estimated this equation number 26. So they have taken logarithm of this equation, small yt equals to capital YT, s divided by n plus delta plus a whole to the power alpha divided by 1 minus alpha. Taken logarithm both sides. They have allowed country specific savings, country specific population growth rate. So this data of per capita output is available, data of savings rate is available, data of population growth is available for each country. They have assumed that delta plus G is basically something like 5%, and they have estimated this equation and they have calculated the value of alpha from there for US. So what the value they got, alpha is extremely high. Generally alpha should be close to 1/3, but when they estimate the equation number 26 by simple OLS, the value of alpha they got is something like way more than 1/3. So what they have realized that there's something again missing in this production function, and they introduce human capital in this production function. You see, this is basically the result they got. I am not explaining this result over here because you guys are not exposed, or you guys have not taken any course of econometrics before this. So you won't realize that how to estimate that, what result they are getting, and how. So that is why I am not going in detail of that. So they have estimated that, and the estimated value of alpha is not matching with the data. And from here they realize that we have to do something else. So they have started with the standard Cobb-Douglas production function, labor augmenting technology, manipulated that in that fashion, got this result, take logarithm both sides, and what they have allowed a country specific savings rate. So this is the savings rate for the ith country. This is the NI is the population growth rate of the ith country, and the right hand side is the steady state output at the ith country. So for the steady state output in the ith country, what they have taken, so their time period is 1965 to 1980. So they have taken the average output. So GDP data is available. The average GDP from 1965 to 1980 for the ith country they have taken, and they have taken the log of that. Similarly, savings rate, they have taken the fraction of savings, fraction of output that is saved, fraction of GDP that is saved for a ith country, an average of that from 1965 to 1980, taken the logarithm of that. And again, delta plus G, they assume it is 5%. Population growth for the ith country is available. So they have calculated NI plus delta plus G, that is the effective depreciation rate after when there is a population growth and technology growth, and they have taken the logarithm of that, and they got the standard equation which can be estimated by OLS. They have estimated that by OLS, they got the value of alpha divided by 1 minus alpha, estimated value. From there, they calculated the value of alpha, but the value they are getting is basically way above 1/3, which is not matching in the data. For US, the capital share in national income is basically close to 1/3, but estimating this equation, they are getting a value of alpha which is way over 1/3. And then they realize, okay, something is missing in this production function. So there are two ways people have incentivized human capital. First of all, I have explained to you people that this particular part is basically the convergence rate. And when you have a simple production function without human capital, the rate of convergence was extremely high to steady state, which is not matching in the data. Mankiw, Romer, and Well shown that if you simply estimate this equation, the value of capital share in national income, which is originally in the data, is 1/3, but the estimated value you are getting way over 1/3. So both of this fact tells us that, okay, we are missing something in the production function, and they introduce a human capital into the production function. So I'm following this Mankiw, Romer, and Well stuff. So this is the production function they have started following. Okay. So kt to the power alpha, capital ht to the power beta, and capital atnt whole to the power 1 minus alpha minus beta. Again, standard, only labor augmenting production function, but now again a constant return to scale. Now introduced h over here, human capital. Okay, they have measured human capital as average enrollment rate in the secondary education for different country. So what should be the correct measure of human capital? People are not actually, there is no consensus about in the literature that what should we use as a correct measure of human capital. Mankiw, Romer, and Well, they have taken the average enrollment rate in the in education for any particular country as a human capital. What they have assumed over here, that only SK fraction of your entire income you are saving to accumulate capital, and SH fraction of your income is saved to accumulate human capital. So that means if your, let's say, if your per capita income, let's say, is 100 unit, let's say 15 units, 15% of that total output you are actually saving to accumulate human capital, and let's say 30% of that you are saving to accumulate human capital. 15 plus 30 is 45, rest of the portion you are consuming. Okay, so when there is no human capital, you are only saving to accumulate physical capital, K. But now they're introducing human capital, and they're assuming a fraction of income is saved to accumulate human capital also. So this is the capital accumulation equation. This is the human capital accumulation equation. And small k hat over here, you see you have a AT&T. I can simply divide both sides by AT&T of this equation. No problem. Okay, so in this equation, you will see again the capital K by capital Y is constant along the steady state. Capital H by capital Y is constant along the steady state. So what will happen? Your rate of growth of per capita output will be the product technology, and rate of growth of physical output will be population growth plus technology. You can simply divide both sides by AT&T. So the manipulation I have shown you just right now without human capital, you can apply that. You divide both sides by YT, and then you do a simple manipulation. What we'll get, capital YT equals to capital KT by YT whole to the power alpha by 1 minus alpha, capital HT by capital YT whole to the power beta divided by 1 minus alpha. No, what you have to do, I'm making a mistake. Actually, in this case, you have to divide both sides by yt to the power alpha plus beta. Divide both sides by yt to the power alpha plus beta, and you do algebraic manipulation. You will get yt equals to capital KT whole to the power alpha by alpha plus beta, capital HT whole to the power beta by alpha plus beta, and AT&T. Capital K by capital Y is constant along the balanced growth path. Capital H by capital Y is constant along the balanced growth path. So rate of growth of output will be rate of growth of technology plus rate of growth of population growth. So if you want to write down the fundamental equation, you define the state variable K hat is capital K divided by AN. Small h hat is capital H divided by AN. Small y hat is capital Y divided by AN. So I can set capital K dot hat equals to 0, capital Y dot hat equals to 0. And if you do that, I can simply solve the steady state value of per capita capital stock, per capita human capital, and per capita output. The only thing, these two equation number 28, equation number 29, you set K hat dot equals to 0, H hat dot equals to 0, then you will get two equation with two unknown to solve for. Small k hat and small h hat. If you solve it, you get this. Interesting part over here, you see, when if you said beta equals to 0, your steady state capital stock is sk divided by n plus delta plus g, n plus delta plus g is basically our standard production function when there is no human capital. Okay, so I get my standard production function and result back if I simply said beta equals to 0 over here. No human capital, standard. So my solution are perfect. And over here, the savings to accumulate physical capital and the savings to accumulate human capital both matters. If either of them increases, so if you save more to accumulate human capital and or you save more to accumulate physical capital, both is increasing your output, because your SK rises, your steady state capital stock rises, your steady state output rises. If your SH rises, your steady state human capital rises and your steady state output rises. In fact, over here, you see, since you have a substitutability in it, physical capital, human capital, when your SK rises, both your K and H rises. As a result, your Y rises. When your SH rises, both your K and H rises. As a result, your Y at the steady state rises. So this is basically they have solved. After that, again, from this output equation, this equation, they have taken logarithm both side and they got this equation back. This is the country specific savings rate to accumulate human capital. This is the country specific savings rate to accumulate physical capital and human capital. This is country specific savings rate to accumulate physical capital. This is the country specific savings rate to accumulate human capital. This is the country specific population growth, and they have estimated this equation by simple OLS. What their objective is to find out the value of alpha and beta. That means what is the capital share in national income, what is the human capital share in national income, and they actually got, after estimation, that alpha and beta, they're very close to 1/3. So it's implied value of alpha, you see 0.3. Okay. So this data part, this estimation part, obviously it is not in the syllabus because you guys have not done econometrics before, but this model is in the syllabus. The model is again standard solo model. The only difference is now there are two types of capital over here. One is physical capital, capital K, another is human capital, capital H. And what the assumption? SK fraction of total national income is saved to accumulate physical capital. SH proportion of national income is saved to accumulate human capital. So you have two fundamental equation now, one for physical capital accumulation, another for human capital accumulation. what is the K hat and what is H hat. I have taken the standard labor augmenting production function. So my small K hat is basically capital K divided by AN, and my small H hat is basically my capital HT divided by ATNT standard. How do I know how I should define my state variable in this fashion? Again, to understand that, I have to find out what is the long run growth rate of this particular production function. I divide both sides of this production function by yt to the power alpha plus beta. Then I do a simple manipulation. The production function can be written as capital YT equals to capital KT by capital YT whole to the power alpha by alpha plus beta, capital HT whole to the power beta by alpha plus beta, and this term will remain unchanged, ATNT. Then capital K by capital Y is constant along the balanced growth path. You see over here what I get, this KSS hat by YSS hat is a constant. HSS hat divided by YSS hat is a constant. That basically means capital Y divided by capital K divided by capital Y is constant. Capital H divided by capital Y is constant. So I am done. Then the rate of growth will be simply small a, so small g plus small n. So fine, I define my small y hat equals to capital Y divided by an, small k hat equals to capital K divided by an, and small h hat equals to capital H divided by an, and write down this simple fundamental equation. Then I solved it in the long run. I said k hat dot equals to 0 in the long run, y hat dot equals to 0 in the long run. I get two equations with two unknown, k hat and h hat, and I solve it. Intuition is basically, I have a, since it's a production function Cobb-Douglas type, there is a substitution between human capital and physical capital. As a result, if you accumulate more physical capital by saving more, not only your K rises, but even your H rises. So when your SK rises, your K and H rises, causing your per capita output at the steady state to rise. And similarly, if your SH rises, your output also rises by raising K and H. Okay, the next part of the thing is whether I have derived it correctly or not. If you simply set beta equals to 0, you get the result of our standard production function without human capital. Next part, estimating alpha and beta. So they have estimated alpha and beta by estimating this simple equation, and what they got, the alpha and beta, these two factors are very close to the data. Okay, so let me summarize that why human capital accumulation. People realize that I have to introduce human capital over here. First of all, after solving this fundamental equation mathematically, they got, this is basically my convergence rate to the steady state, and they have given the value of alpha equals to 1/3 and the n plus delta plus g over here is basically, it is giving me a very faster convergence over here. So I need some factor over here. They introduce human capital the same way Mankiw, Romer, and Well you introduce. If you take this production function over here, actually this production function k to the power alpha, h to the power beta, ATNT whole to the power 1 minus alpha minus beta, your convergence rate will be 1 minus alpha minus beta n plus delta plus g. Okay, it will fall down. So that means a human capital is necessary. And the second is over here. You started with no human capital, estimated the value of alpha. What they got, alpha is way higher than 1/3, which is basically 1/3. Alpha is 1/3 from the data. Estimated value of 1/3 is way higher. Alpha is way higher than 1/3. They introduced human capital and they got close to the data. But estimation part, again, I'm saying not in the syllabus, but this model is in the syllabus. Again, this, even this phase diagram is not in the syllabus. It is, I think it is, it's not possible for you people to understand what is happening over here. It's basically showing, again, if you introduce human capital in the solo model, is a globally stable model. We have proven that it is a globally stable model without human capital. This diagram proves that it is globally stable model even with human capital. Okay, it's not in the syllabus. The syllabus is basically this fundamental equation, the derivation of the fundamental equation, k hat and h hat, and after solving this fundamental equation at the steady state, getting these three values, kss hat, hss hat, and yss hat. Getting the intuition of this substitution between capital and human capital is there, since it's a Cobb-Douglas production function. So it doesn't matter you save more to accumulate physical capital or human capital. Either of them rises, both the factor will rise and output will rise. But again, this part, this effective depreciation is the denominator. So your population growth rises, your YSS falls. Your delta rises, your YSS falls. Your rate of growth of technology rises, YSS fall. In the long run, again in this model, since it is a simple labor augmenting technological progress, the long run growth rate is again G plus N. So I can define my state variables as capital YT divided by AT&T. This is the trick. As I said you, if you see it is on a labor augmenting technological progress, you are sure that your long run growth will be A plus N. Rate of growth of technological progress plus population growth. But if A is not here, A is in the beginning, then it is both labor augmenting and capital augmenting technological progress. In that case, your rate of growth will be something G divided by 1 minus alpha plus N, or over here it is G divided by 1 minus alpha minus beta plus N. And then you have to define your state variable in such a fashion so that its time derivative is 0. So in this particular model, the new definition of y hat t will be capital YT divided by NT multiplied by capital AT to the power 1 over 1 minus alpha minus beta. You do that, your y hat t, y dot t will be actually 0 at the steady state. But if it's the only labor augmenting technological progress, your long run growth is basically G plus N. Okay, no problem. I think it's clear. Any question? I will start new models actually from next class tomorrow, gradually. Any question? Sachi Jalote, is this fine right now? Are you with me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So trick फिर से मैं बोल रहा हूँ, just you have to just check whether the production function is only labor augmenting or it is both labor augmenting or capital augmenting. If it is only labor augmenting, you define in the fundamental equation, you define your hat variable as, let's say if you are defining small x hat, it will be capital XT divided by AT&T. But if it is both labor augmenting and capital augmenting, you have to determine what is the growth rate, and accordingly you have to define your hat variable in the fundamental equation so that you can set its time derivative to 0 or rate of growth to 0 at the steady state. Okay, that's the trick. Fine. Abhishek Kumar Singh, is it fine?
Yes, sir.
A derivation, you guys should do it at home. And tomorrow, if you have any problem, initial half an hour or something, we can discuss about this, and then I will move to some other model. But you please give some time to derive this part. This equation number 28 and equation number 29, you have to derive from here with the assumption that the population growth is N, capital, physical capital and human capital both are depreciating at the rate delta. Rate of growth of technological progress is G. You are saving small SK proportion of your national income to accumulate physical capital, and small SH proportion of your national income to accumulate human capital. You derive this to fundamental equation, and you solve it only at the long run or the steady state, and you get these two values, these three values. This is basically your homework. You should do it. I have not shown it the entire derivation in the PPT, but it's pretty easy and it can be done. And also this part, to identify the long run growth rate, you divide both sides by yt to the power alpha plus beta, and you manipulate, and you use the result that capital K by capital Y at the steady state is 0, capital H by capital Y at the steady state is 0, and you calculate the rate of growth of capital Y and rate of growth of small y. Small y is always per capita. I am not going to change the definition of small y and capital Y ever, but hat variable, I have to change the definition of hat variable according to the structure of the production function, so that I can set the time derivative of that hat variable at the steady state at 0. Okay, any question? Faisal,
Yes, sir.
any question?
No, sir.
Understood?
Yes, sir. I'll derive it again.
Okay, no problem. Sachi also derived it. Sachi identified that it is not, it should be, I should not write as a time, as a function of time, rightly identified. But since this was not the purpose, I have not given that much of emphasis over there. But she was correct that when I am writing down a steady state variable or the ratio of two steady state variable, right hand side is constant, it should be independent of time, and I should remove t from the bracket, and as I did it, Sachi, fine, the removal of t, hopefully.
Yes, sir.
वेरी गुड. एग्जाम कैसा गया 5 मिनट के लिए? प्रियांशा, एग्जाम?
Yes, sir, it was fine.
It was fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sagar Kumar, right? SK Sagar Kumar Karn. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
एग्जाम कैसा गया?
ठीक है, sir.
ठीक है,
Yes, sir.
सब कर पाए थे?
Yes, sir.
वेरी गुड. दशरथ मीना? Not here, I think. Anyway, then we will meet again at 2 o'clock tomorrow. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I'm ending the meeting here. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.